Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. Great to be here. And let me kind of like set the tone for the next 50 minutes, right? So we all have gathered today to really kind of like understand that what will be the topic which is going to be a key talking point for Sapphire 2026, right? So we all have heard that every Sapphire SAP always comes up with some new innovations and new product strategy has been announced, right? So those previous years, some of these strategies are long-term, multi-year kind of like these strategies, which kind of like or threads which has been open and which kind of like converging into action or decisions in this year. So this year's Sapphire will be very interesting, and we are going to talk about few threads which we have seen in the previous year. So okay. So the three threads which we are talking about, one of this is the SAP S/4HANA on Rise. Now, I mean, it's like Rise was aspirational for most of the CIOs, most of the customers back in the days, back in 3, 4 years, right? And people were really evaluating whether we should stay on-premise or should we be on the cloud, and whether Rise makes sense, right? But now what we have seen is like there is a lot of adoption is there in terms of SAP S/4HANA on Rise, and specifically on the private cloud. So this is something which is like the question now is not about aspirational this thing, but it's a necessity, right? So while there are customers who are still on ECC on premise, and eventually they will be migrating. So the key question in CIO's mind is how do I make my transition smooth, right? So migration question is definitely something which is bothering, and it's a journey which customer has to walk whenever they are moving from ECC to S4. So moving to Rise is become a default choice. Now second thread which SAP has from the innovation perspective which they have introduced is BTP. Now, back then it was more of like BTP is emerging. There are a lot of custom development, which is customer were seriously evaluating whether we should do the development on the BTP. Whereas now it is kind of like if I look at and speak with customers and look at most of the implementation, it is primarily a architectural requirement, right? So what we have seen is like customers are very much comfortable putting their custom developments on RISE objects on BTP. And BTP in itself has also kind of like evolved with the new functionalities and the extensions. And then even this year we have seen a lot of AI capability which has been rolled out on the BTP platform. So BTP platform is no longer kind of like something which is side or maybe optional, but emerging. But this is a foundational level of S/4HANA architecture, right? So then the third thread is all about because we've been hearing that okay, minimize the custom development so that your migration or upgrade becomes easy. And for that, doing that, we need a clean code. So clean core was recommended by SAP, and there's a push for that. And that's where the BTP comes into picture. But then now I really look at it, right? So be a clean core mandate is something which is definitely a must for all the customers. So cost of non-compliance, it is compounding every day, every release it is compounding. So I guess this is something which is like the clean core. We're going to talk about it, right? As we go in the further in today's session. So this three threads is something which is like what we are thinking is that this is going to be a key foundational layer which is going to be very important. But apart from that, building on these three threads, I guess we are going to see some announcements on agents about business data cloud, then sovereign cloud variant, right? So these are different threads which we see that there should be some announcement, and these are the vocabulary which we want you to kind of like take away from the session, and both from the vocabulary, then without really kind of like looking at the cost lens at this point in time. but definitely something which is we want to touch upon those subjects today. So what Rahul and I are going to do is like we're going to spend some overall 50 minutes of time, your time, and we're going to discuss five practical things which we want you to walk away today and from this session. And it's something which is like we think that these are the areas, these are the subjects which every CIOs and every customer should be aware, right? So what I would do is like I will hand over the session to Rahul. He's going to talk about the different the key items which he out of five key items, he's going to focus on the three key items. So Rahul, over to you.
Thank, thank you so much. So let's start with the vocabulary. Okay. So because before you can validate anything at the Sapphire, so you need to know what the terms mean, and more importantly, what the question to carry in your head when you hear each one. Okay. So on a screen, you'll see the five terms right here. So these are will dominate 3 days of a Sapphire with the keynote sessions, breakout sessions, the both conversations and all. Okay. So first is the AI foundation. That's the SAP infrastructure layer for the embedding AI across the suite. Think of it as a plumbing, not a product to buy. The question to carry is your data is clean enough in your environment. Okay, is deliver any value in your environment, because AI foundation won't go and fix your data. It won't go and fix your messy data at all. It will just expose it as it is. Okay. Second is Joule, the SAP's AI copilot, probably the term you will most often in the sessions. Okay. The question to carry, which Joule capability is lead in your model right now in the system today. It's not a roadmap or not a beta version, it's a need for today's days. Okay. Third is the business data cloud. Okay. So the SAP data unified data layer bring SAP data and the non-SAP data together in the governance piece. Okay. The question to carry, how does it integrate with your specific non-SAP systems? Okay. And where does the governance and the ownership will sit? Okay. Fourth is the clean core. So the architectural baseline. Clean core is definitely the architecture baseline right now in the environment. Okay. We are going to spend the full segment on this particular topic. Okay. The question to carry for the Sapphire, what does the non-compliance cost if uh, in future any new release will be occur for the environment? Okay. So that's where the clean core will come into the picture. And the last and the least, nothing but the agentic AI. Okay. So basically, the most discussed and the least understood topic right now. The question to carry: who accountable when an agent make a wrong decision in the system? Okay. So these are the five questions to carry with you in the Sapphire. So five terms, five question. Now let me go in the deeper in the each and every topic. But the two that matters most is the Joule and AI agents right now. Okay. So here's something that most CIOs doesn't realize yet, that Joule is not a one product, it's a three. Okay. As you see on the screen, first is the embedded AI. So 100 plus of use cases right now. There are predictions, NLPs, code generations are running natively inside the Suites apps. Okay. Second is the Joule skills. There are thousands and 100 plus skills right now available in the market. These are the task-specific, rule-based capability right now inside the Joules, and scope will be single modules. Okay, those are the very predictable outcomes and low risk right now in the market in terms of SAP. And the last, nothing but the Joule agents. Okay, these are they are I think around 30 plus Joule agents are available right now across the 35 solutions in the market and the SAP markets. So all are the autonomous multi-step reasoning across the SAP and non-SAP systems. So these are the demand governance right now in the environment. Okay, so three ships under the SAP Business AI umbrella, but only the tier three need the new governance stack. Okay, the mistake most enterprises will make at the Sapphire, and I would argue you to avoid this one, is conflicting the tier 3 risk with the tier 1 simplicity. Okay, the procurement contract, the security review, the data sharing agreement, none of these scale linearly across the tier. So treating them as a one product is the most expensive mistake of 2026 right now. Okay. So when you see the dual demo, I don't know if you see or not, but when you see the dual demo, the question to ask which tier is and what the change downstream. Okay. So that you need to think about it before you see the dual. Now, can you just move to the next slide? Perfect. Thank you. That's where I want to spend some time. So if you see the agentic AI, yeah. So specifically, the demo to production gap is the widest here. Okay, so I want to spend a moment here. So when the AI moved from advising to the acting in the system, the security model fundamentally changed here. Okay, the slides comparing two scenarios. Can you just go to the next slides? There is a comparison between the two. Perfect. There's a slide number, previous slides only, the previous one. Okay, perfect. So on my left hand side, if you see one workload affected, okay, the single database, single business process, recoverable through familiar incident responsible pattern. Okay, an agent compromise right effect. Okay, every system the agent can orchestrate procurement, finance, HR, any module at machine speeds or the light speed across the SAP or non-SAP systems. Okay, the recovery or the requires a new control model right now in the systems. Okay, so there's a quote at the bottom. If you see that there's a quote is written in agentic AI, the language itself become a part of a text surface. Okay, that's pretty much what we are trying to say it here. Okay, so read it thoroughly, and maybe you read it twice or thrice before you're going to the Sapphire. That's where the our what I say the uh, um, um, integration or the system effect will be coming to the picture. Okay. Now, if you see on my right hand side, the agentic compromise, right? Every system, the agent can orchestrate. Okay. So it's pretty much that your SAP, each and every model will be compromised if your security layer is not it's decide or not configured properly in the systems. Okay, so whenever you see the agentic AI demo at the Sapphire, that's generally it's a very impressive in terms when you see it. Okay, but the question to carry with you when you own it, or when an agent make the wrong call, how do you construct, and how the audit trail will be going. Okay, so what is your change management process will be changed across the AI agent when the agent will be there in the systems. Okay, so these are the things we need to think about before you go and implement it in the environment. Okay, so yes, how SAP is answer on this question. There are three or four zones are there for this. Okay, and there are multiple checkpoints are there. So can you just go to the or maybe be here on this slide itself. Okay, so there are, I think, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3s are there, and multiple checkpoints we have just created maybe next pretty slides. Okay, so zone 1 is nothing but the inbound and trust. Zone 2 is the reasoning and grounding, and zone 3 is the executions and all. Okay, so how would this particular things are work? So zone one, as I said, the inbound and trust. So inbound user requests come via anything, the Fury or the via Joule or something, and it identified it and verified with the your XORs or the ISS tokens and all, and the generative AI policies get filter it out, the input tags and the prompts. Okay, now zone 2 is something the reasoning and the groundings are there. Okay, so grounded retrieval from the maybe it's maybe retrieved from the your any of the vector engines like HANA Cloud Vector or something else, or maybe the knowledge graph or something, and then and it will go and authorize and aware that what we are going to do it. Okay, and and definitely it will go and validate the outputs as well before it leave the systems. Okay, and then zone 3 is nothing but the executions. Okay, so the MCPs, you heard the MCPs and all. So MCP gateway by integration suites, uh, maybe in the very control, and it should be executed in very control manner. Okay, there are SAP API management hubs are there, where we have multiple scopes and tokenizations are there. SAP is, it's written a long theory on that. Okay, so each and every action need to be audited on this particular execution step. Okay, it needs to be audited by the SOCs or SMEs and all. Okay, now, there are multiple compliances and lenses are there for this particular audits. They are GDPRs, your EU, your AI, their ISOs and all. Okay, so if your SI partners cannot draw this particular picture in your environment, in your landscape, then you're not ready for to deploy the agent in your environment at all. Okay, so it should be validated by your SI partners. Okay, and it should be compliance with the GDPR or ISO or any of the certifications. Okay, so definitely that's the carry you need to test with you with in the Sapphire. Okay, these things. Now if let me talk about the second things here. Okay, so that's the most critical thing, and that's what you're going to hear in the Sapphire 2026. The cloud rise, grow, and what actually these are, and what why are in the demand right now in the market. Okay, so you definitely heard this all this term across all 3 days in the Sapphire. Okay, uh, the distinction between the rise and grow, I think you already know, but for your reference, I will go repatch it. Okay, so on if you see on my left hand side the rise with SAP, on my right hand side the grow with SAPs are there. Okay, so rise is nothing but it's a private cloud editions given by the SAP, and grow is the public cloud editions. Okay, so who is going to use which system, or who want to move it on which particular systems? Okay, that's the again, and the topic need to be decided in the organization or maybe CIOs. Okay, so pretty much we just written it here, how we can go and decide it. Okay, if you're doing the any brownfield conversation or the migrations, then definitely you need to go with the rise, because existing customer need to be moved. They cannot directly move to the grow, right, the public things, that because they already have so much customization in their current landscape. So we cannot directly go and move to the public cloud with those customizations. So it's a pretty risky for the migration state. Okay, so in that condition, definitely the recommendation is you need to use the brownfield implementation, and you need to move to the rise, and later on when the systems are stable, you can go and move to the grow. Okay, so Grow is the SAP's newest ERP system right now in the market. Okay, it's as for public edition, as I told you, and it's always recommend for the greenfield implementation, for or always for the newer customers. Okay, so because these are the very fresh system, start with the standard process in the fresh way. Okay, always give you the latest release because you are on the public cloud. Okay, so you don't need to worry about your all releases, okay, or the upgrades and all. And the node is its grow is very fast variant right now. Okay, and the part there is so much applications, and things are delivered by the partners as well as the SAPs. Okay, so the thing is the cons are there, they are fixed scope. You cannot go and do the customization as you can go and do it in the price or the your on-premise systems. Okay, but that's why SAP is right now asking to the customer, go and move to the grow or the public cloud. Okay, because SAP is now pitching every customers to move to the grow in future. Okay, and public cloud is the first in the mindset of the SAP right now. Okay, so this sound very similar right now, but they are architecturally very different in the manners. Okay, and SAP is consistently accelerating the pace at which they expect customer to move to the cloud native right now. They just stop your on-premise license at all. Okay, so and definitely both the things are right now favoring to the BTP as well, because BTP is now the centric hub for them, for either for the development, for the your data integrations, your migrations, and all. So that's why SAP is not pitching for the your cloud editions either with the Rise or with the Grow. Okay. Now, so as we are the customer is moving on the cloud, the third dimension we need to talk about the sovereign cloud now. Okay, and we have just added here the four topics here: the data, operational, legal, and the technical things. So how we can go in the deep down here. Okay, what are these aspects are there? So these are the dimensions what you're seeing on the screen right now. So basically where your data physically resides, that is also it's very a crucial topic you need to think about. Okay, because it's impact the laws, the governance, the access, and all, right? So operational surveillance is it's who access your data, the who are the admin who access the data, okay, on which jurisdiction right now data is resides. Okay, the legal is something which legal system go on the data and the contract. Okay, and dispute maybe the if any dispute will be happen, how you're going to take care of those things in the systems. So that's what the legal terms are there right now. Okay, the technical what we think about, how you're going to do the encryption of the data, right? How you're going to do the key management of your data, and how you're going to do the isolation and the control of your data. Okay, so SAP is offering right now the country specific solution stacks across your Europe, France, or maybe US, Australia, and the Middle East or India regions. Okay, so definitely this dimensions are matter, because if you're moving to the cloud, then definitely it's a very much matter for you right now in the systems, and that's what you need to carry to the Sapphire right now, and that's what you need to ask for, or each and every booth or the partners on this particular topic. Okay, now, finally, there are three practical implications on the SAP Sapphire 2026. The migration, what tool you need to use, because right now the system or it's very advanced. Okay, so it's not the previously what we are using the traditional approach by using the developers and all do the migrations, and those are activities right in the market. There are so much tools are available for that particular things. So and which tool you need to use it, that is also you need to think about, because there are so many aspects. There are multiple automation steps are there, it's involved, right? And how they are offering it right now in the systems. Are they are using the clean core compliant, or they only doing the ATCs, the remediations? So that is also you need to think about. Okay, that's the three practical implications you need to think about in the SAP Sapphire, because so many customers right now on the ECC or the older version of the S4 system, or they need to move it in future in next 2 years on the either with the Rise or the Grow. So that's the practical thing you need to think about here. Okay, so clean core, it's not something you don't need to think about, though you cannot just ignore it right now in the system. Okay, previously maybe last year or last to last year, it's just a topic, the clean core, but right now it's a necessity. Okay, so I will give you with the complete picture and the next few slides why it's very critical right now in the current stage of the system. Okay, because so many customers they move to the either the Rise with their current custom code itself, but they are not did the clean core strategy. They just only did the ATC remediation. Okay, but still they are facing so much challenges. They if I talked about so many customer when they completed their migration on the Rise, still for 8 to 10 months they're only doing their UAT and the testings and all, because they didn't do the clean core. They cleaning the system with the custom code. They just did the remediation of the ATC things. Okay, so I will come to this topic again one more time here. Okay, so if you think here, we did some comparison here on this particular the slides. Okay, think about any of the migration. Think it's the migration. If you're doing only migration with your ATC remediation, so think as it's a kind of a loan with the variable interest for you. As we have mentioned in here how it will work. It okay, you borrow against your technical debt. Okay, so you borrow something in from your current system, and you're moving to the rise with that. Okay, so when you migrate it, you definitely keep paying the interest in terms of your testing efforts, your timelines, your upgrade fictions, and all. Okay, and every time whenever the new release comes into the picture, definitely it will your testing efforts, other things will be extended as on. So that's why we am pitching on every customer only targeting right now the ATC remediation. They are not focusing on the clean core. So that is what the topic right now in the market. They need to think about it. Otherwise, always they go in the testing cycles, and it will always be running as it is. Okay, each and every release or the migration, because every year SAP is also releasing the new S4 versions. So somehow they also need to upgrade their environments. So every time whenever if they are going with the as it is things without doing the clean core, then definitely every time this particular things will be increased each and every cycles. We did some comparison here. If you see here, the first year when we migrate, there's only 100 cases are there, or the objects are there, they need to do it. But maybe later on in the year 3 or year 5, when they again perform the migrations, it will be going to be doubled. Okay, so definitely if they are not doing the clean core strategy, they are going to pay as a debt every time. Okay, now can you just go to the next slide, please? So clean core has guaranteed you these things. Okay, so we have just pitched around the separation with the A B C D topics here. Okay, so if you see here, the if you're using the ABAP cloud or the BTP side by side extension, that's how they SAP is recommending for the clean core strategy. Okay, so that is it's a straightforward approach where SAP says you need to move your custom development either on the ABAP on cloud or the BTPs. That customer can decide it how and how what the custom code you're really right now using it. Based on it, that approach you can decide it. Okay, now the section B, as we talked about, is the classic ABAP or the document tables right now is resides. Okay, so for that SAP is already given so many BAPIs or the interfaces, and those are very particular tables. So that's what, if you're doing any development, that's the thing you need to use it. Okay, now the sections we think about the type C and type D what we have mentioned here. Okay, the internal SAP objects and the modifications. So basically the thing is that any customers right now, okay, when they migrate it, so they are not think about the clean core right now. Okay, so they always using the or doing the things with the sections 3 and D. Okay, now because definitely you need to retire the D is very critical part, because so many customer did so many modification enhancement in their environment. Okay, and it's very tough for them to identify and just remove it from the system. So that's where it's very time, because they need to identify right now in the system. It took some time, but if they identified it and they know how we can migrate either on the ABAP on cloud or the BTP, then definitely the system will be clean. And in future, whenever they go and do the upgrades on their rise, then it's a very straightforward approach for them. Maybe the upgrade will be happen within a few weeks. Right now they are doing for the months, but it will be go and close in with weeks. Okay, so that's the thing they need to think about it, the modification and enhancement implications. Okay, so whenever you did the complete your migration, you need to go and stop the using that particular things, and you need to first think about how we can go and use the clean core strategy either with the ABAP on cloud or with the BTPs. Okay, so that is what you need to think about here. Okay, can you just go to the next slide, please? Now, uh, 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 the thing is that by the clean core, it's 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 not maybe automated right now. Okay, So even though SAP is also recommending last couple of years to the customers or the partners that you need to go with the clean core manner, but the automation is not at that scale at that time. Okay, but right now with the last few of months, the couple of months, as the AI scale up, okay, so now there's so many tools are also available in the market with the clean core strategies. Okay, and even though SAP is also released so many Joule agents and skills with the clean core models. Okay, there are so many Joule agents are available in the market. The as the business demand, then definitely they can go and they clean their environment. So that's the customer need to think about, and they need to see how we can then utilize those agents and clean their system. Okay, so even though in the below of the slides, if you think, we have again segregated on my left hand side what SAP now ship natively, and what the enterprise scale sits required. Okay, so there is a little bit gap is here, but in the market there or the partner is delivered so many tools right now in the systems or the markets, so they can utilize those things, and then they can use it or maybe start their system to clean it either with the manual, or maybe they can go and utilize those AI agents. Okay, so that's they need to think about it here. Now so these are the topics. So the five question what I told you in the starting, so that you need to think about, and that's what you need to carry in the Sapphire right now. Okay, so that's the things you need to think is. And before going to jump on the next slide, even though I will show you how you can go and use the your migrations or the clean core strategy with some of the AI automation tools. So let me share the screen. So as I told you, there in the market there are so many tools are available, and so many delivered by the SAP or the partners. So this one of the tool also we have built it. So it's more available for your clean core strategy or for your ATC migration as well. So that's the things you need to think about, and you need to see in the Sapphire, and how you can utilize this particular tools, right? Where you can simply go and migrate your existing custom bodies or maybe enhancements to the clean core manner, or maybe you can go and see how we can go on the fly with the autonomous manner. We can go and do the migrations for you, right? So it's a pretty straightforward. Previously you need to go and do those things with the manual efforts with the developers and all, and right now we are doing with this particular tool in the automation manners. There are so many agents are available, we build it. Those agents will go and do the perform this all those things for you in the automation manners. Okay, so that's how we can you can see this particular things or the topic.
Yeah. Okay. So effectively, right, what we are trying to say is like, see, there are five quick ways. So while we will be out in the Sapphire, we'll meet a lot of booths we will visit. We'll get impressed with a lot of such innovative products demo which we are going to do, right? Which we're going to see. We're going to do, or we're going to see, and of course, SAP is also going to do a lot of new product offering and launch activities, right? So where we are saying that for every such initiative which is going to wow us, we need to ask five questions, right? So the all the AI agents, which all agents are kind of live in production, right? So what is the reference customer of our size? Not today, but I mean, and it's just today, not roadmap, right? So there's something which is an important question to kind of reflect on, and this is important for us to really kind of like put our foot on the ground, because while we will get impressed with the superb demos, right? This is something which is very important for us to note. As Rahul was highlighting the risk of agent orchestrating a lot of things on their own. The risk kind of like uh, goes in I mean the traditional risk versus the risk posed by agents is there is no symmetry between the two, right? So that's one question about the how many use cases are live in production, and what are the references, right? And the second question is about what percentage of custom code need to change, right? Whenever you're going to migrate, right? So if you were to do the clean core, how much of those custom objects we need to change, and what kind of like tools we are going to use it, because doing it manually is like very difficult and it's going to be time consuming as well, right? So having the right tooling is something which is very important, right? And I mean, we cannot really kind of like have we cannot have a the condition attached to doing a clean code. Okay. The the other question, third question is all about again the business data cloud, right? So data cloud, data strategy becomes very important in AI world, because at the end of the day, your AI is going to use your data, clean data, and then going to do the reasoning, and then going to do the automation, right? So how does your SAP data, non-SAP data gets connected to BDC, and what is the governance model, right? So very important. I think so. Rahul already talked about governance model, how it should basically separate out in three zones and all, right? So definitely something which is very important for us to recognize that what is the governance model which is going to be deployed on BDC, right? And integrations is key. I mean, we know how complex integration framework will be, and the different connections going in from here and there, the SAP, non-SAP systems and all, right? So it's very important for us to put the governance in place. Then the other question is like, while price grow discussions are still going, but whenever we are going to take any decisions, whether rise or grow, right? What kind of like automations are achieved, or how much of the delivery which SIs are going to give, right? What is it manual effort? What is the automated automation, right? So this will also kind of like reflect on efficiency claim, right? Which basically SIs are claiming. And also in today's considering the development in the AI world, this is very important, that how much of the manual effort which is typically goes into implementation journey itself can be minimized, right? Then the fifth question is all about upgrade, right? So uh, what is the upgrade speed? What is the simplification items? How quickly we can resolve, right? And while we are on the clean core or upgrade path, what is the regression testing we have to do, right? So for once, if you have not done the regression, then obviously the questions about every release will create new ATC remediation, and we will be in a loop of doing the remediation and doing the testing of the custom code, right? So something which is very important for us to really understand that the clean core is done in a as we have been talking, it's mandatory now to do the clean core, right? So these are the five questions. I think so. None of them are really adversarial questions. I mean, we are not trying to. I mean, we should not be pushing our colleagues in a wrong foot. But then idea is to kind of like have a right, well-informed decision to be taken while we ask those questions, right? So this is something which is like I thought important from the five question perspective. And now, if I really kind of like translate into the when you finish the 3 day sessions, and then what is going to be your what activities, what plan of action will be there. So three actions in the week one, which is like what we think is very going to be very important, right? So if Grace, you can go to the next slide. Right. So it is very important that if you're still on ECC, you should run the diagnostic with your, you can ask your basis team, or get the ADC check done. So you know what are the remediations item are there, what are simplification the items are there, right? So definitely something which is you need to sit with your SAP program head, your basis team, who can help you with the running the diagnostic, and also understand that how clean is your code today, right? And how much of those custom developments can be pushed to BTP, how much can be you need to do those custom developments still on S/4HANA on core, but with the clean core, following the clean core functionality, right? And which all modules where you see a usability of Jewel will be there, right? I mean, because then SAP definitely has rolled out a lot of native AI capability, but then which all places where you're going to see use cases of Dual agent, Dual chatbot, Dual as a agent's perspective, right? Then the again, I mean, the while we are in this process, obviously there will be a lot of claims which will be managed done by the vendors, right? So I mean, it's important to ask the right references, size of the company, complexity which the vendors are going to be proposing to deploy these AI solutions. So it's important to really challenge the claims, and then get the deployment plan, right? And of course, I mean, it is Sapphire basically creates a kind of an internal conversation, right, between in the organization. What kind of like a roadmap or a strategy which customer is going to be deploying in this next 1 year. So I mean, it's important to prioritize your different strategies, different initiatives, and then find a lead sponsor who can run the initiatives and move forward to get the initiative to production, right? So something which is right, we thought that these three action specific, time bound, designed for a week, 1 or 2, and get it going, right? So yeah, I mean, this is something which is it's important for us to reflect and then move forward and get our whatever the knowledge which you're going to gain in Sapphire to put it in action, right? So three things to carry out of today, right? So your vocabulary, which we've been talking about today, right? Your Jewel, BDC, Clean Core, Agentic AI, right? Which are the how the AI is going to be deployed, what zones of the security layer, and we spoke about, right? So that's your entry ticket in the Sapphire. Clean core is a financial decision because it is going to impact your regression testing. uh, I understand a lot of you still do the manual testing, but there will be automation in the testing. But even then, also there is a the not doing a clean core is definitely going to have an impact on your upgrade cycle, right? And yeah, I mean, Sapphire is a week valuable as 1 week. I mean, we already spoke about 5 questions, uh, how run the diagnostic, put a one reference request, and then yeah, get the internal conversation, move forward, right? So definitely something which is we should three things we should take it out in out of this session. So idea is that how do we help customers to do the migration and help the customers to do the their custom code remediation done with the remediation both from the ATC as well as the clean code perspective. So definitely, I mean, there is a migration assessment is something which is like should be done in days and not weeks, right? So you should not have too much of lead time. And yeah, I mean, we are happy to help. I mean, is there any help where we can do a help in terms of like doing the assessment or having a one-on-one conversation where we can work with you in the rise readiness or clean core positions. I mean, yeah, we are more than happy to work with you guys. And myself, Rahul, and the team are always available for the conversation. And we look forward for you to see you in Sapphire in Orlando. So thank you so much for today's call, and yeah, have a good evening, have a good day to you folks, and we'll see you in Sapphire in Orlando. Thank you so much.